Jesus Christ, you people suck.
Wow.
Wolverine wanted to be just...
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady.
But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
All right, it's time. Another week of N4G Radio. This is episode 730 for January 16th, 2023. And on the show this week we have Anthony.
I'm here.
And we got Turd.
What up, y'all?
And I think that's it, because Ryan's out in the Chattanooga choo-choo. I don't know where Drew's at.
Well, it's gonna be a short show then.
Shit.
No, because we still have to read viewers' Game of the Years.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got a
that's
few
right. Oh,
emails.
that'll be fun.
And some shit. And also we got news. I kept the news that, I made news notes last week and then remembered we were doing Game of the Year, and I was like, well, I'll leave some of these on here. Because they're fine. But, we can talk about video games to kick it off. Anthony, why don't we start with you, since you're playing video games?
Yeah, I've only played Mario and Rabbids, and I'm currently playing a game called Under Dungeon, which is kind of neat, but I don't have much to say about it right now.
You know, I played that game too. The one thing that I don't think I care for is the fact that you have to aim, like, your shot. Like, it feels weird.
Yeah, because he shoots his sword whatever way you're facing.
Yeah.
And he faces 8 directions rather than the traditional Zelda 4.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get used to it. And, like, it's almost like a kind of a timing / cadence to it of, like, making sure you hit it. I don't know, but it's a cool game. It's a cool game.
Yeah. So that's kind of it for me, because, like, I haven't played much of anything else.
Yeah.
Not even Overwatch?
Oh, here you go. I knew he
What the
was
fuck are we going to talk about with that? Yeah, hey, everybody, it's still fucking broke.
It is. Listen, maybe
You still want to pay $20 for a skin? No, I don't. Thanks.
No, I don't think, no. But people might come to us to find out if it's still broke or not, so we should at least let them know, yes, it is in fact still very broken. So, there you go. There's your Overwatch update.
Yeah, it's still a pile of Roadhog shit, so there you go.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right. Well, if that's all you got going on, I'll go to Saracen.
Well, I have played stuff, so there you go. So I'm playing for review, and I guess I can talk about it because it's already out. One Piece Odyssey. So it's really cool. So I am not a One Piece fan, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like, I've seen some episodes of the show, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But like, somebody told me, actually, it might have been before my son got into it. Somebody was like, oh yeah, that show has like 1,000-something episodes, and I was like, Nope, there's no way I'm ever going to catch up to watch all that. Nope. So I wrote it off. Well, enter One Piece Odyssey, which is its release is celebrating, I think, the 25th anniversary, either 25th or 30th anniversary of the manga release. And so the premise of the game is a new story where the Straw Hats, which is Luffy's crew, end up crashed on this island, and this little girl takes their power from them. So you start off the game like level 40, and you have all these awesome attacks, and then she takes your power and turns them to these cubes because she hates pirates. Obviously, the Straw Hats, from what I'm learning in this, they're not the typical pirate group. I guess they're like the good pirates. So after they talk and whatever, she's like, okay, well, you got to find this stuff to get your power back. Well, come to find out, once they get their initial stuff, they go into this world of memories. And so the whole thing about this game is it's re-exploring stories that have already happened in the probably the anime, maybe even the manga, but they've like twisted some aspects. So she explains like, yeah, this land, the first place you go to is Alabasta. And she's like, yeah, you're going to go here and it's pulled from your memories, but everything is not going to happen like you remember it. So, and because you were this powerful when you met them and now you back down to level 1, they're going to be more powerful than you. So it's not going to be like a cakewalk, like you coming in here super juiced. You know what I mean? So they explain it away so that it's like an entry point for people like me who have not watched all 1,000 episodes and don't know a whole lot. But it's really cool.
So, parents,
Go ahead. What?
there's 1,047 episodes.
Yep. See? Nope. I'll never.
And if you go, well, I'll just read it then instead. There's 104 volumes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like a volume, for anybody not aware, is like a small fucking trade paperback book.
Yeah.
Generally even thicker than most trade paperbacks that collect comics. They're just under an inch wide. And,
How does something go that long? Like,
I mean,
That's
so
what I keep asking my son. Like,
One
how have we
Piece-
not found the One Piece?
One Piece started in 97.
That's wild. I did not know that.
And I think it might be Shonen Jump's most popular series. So when they brought Shonen Jump over, I don't think they make them anymore, but it was like, you buy an issue and then there's different comics inside. So there's different manga inside. And One Piece was one of the ones that they launched with. I think their second issue of Shonen Jump came with the first issue of Naruto, and that was
Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh!
2001,
Shonen Jump?
2002. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was in it.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, and like I think the only one that's been consistent is One Piece.
Wow.
Over here, anyways. Dragon Ball Z, I think, was like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I think is the longest running.
Oh wait, that's what they had a fighting game that I had with all the shonen characters because it
Jump
like
Stars.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
game was
Yeah.
creepy.
But I liked it because my boy was DLC Seto Kaiba came with his DLC. Like, oh my god, that
Yeah,
It-
but
it
the
didn't last
characters
long.
in that game look like people dressed up in suits, and it was creepy.
They did. It was. It was. It was. The fighting stuff was cool. Like, it was. I think it was more just fun to play as some of those characters that, one, I had never heard of, and two, the ones that I actually had heard of that I liked. So it was yeah. But One Piece, yeah, dude, I'm never going to watch all that, which makes this game perfect because it's an entry point which gives you some backstory on all of them, on the different characters, and doesn't, you don't have to watch 1,400 and however many episodes or read 100 and different, issues of the book. The combat system is super unique. It's a lot kind of like Dragon Questy in a way. So because the Straw Hats crew is like 9-10 people deep, which I know that I don't even have all of them with me right now. Like, some of them are missing and they must be scattered around that island. But so when you run into an enemy, it's set up where the AI will randomly pick of your 9 people and throw them out on the field. There'll be like 3 of them out on the field. And then the different enemies has ranges. So there's a close range and then there's long range. So you might have Luffy, Robin, and Chopper are out on the field. Well, maybe Luffy has 3 enemies around him. Maybe there's 2 enemies that don't have anybody near them, and Robin or Chopper are in their own zone. So with the combat, each of the characters has a close range and a long range attack. So you can, obviously, Luffy can handle the ones that's in front of him, or he can use a long range attack to handle the other ones. Also, it allows you to swap out at any time in the fight. So because they're all different, not classes, it's I guess traits. So there's a power, speed, and technique, and each of them fall onto that. So there's that triangle where power beats speed, speed beats technique, technique beats power. So depending on what enemies you have on the field, you might need to swap out Luffy for one of the other. I don't know everybody's name yet. I know there's one that doesn't hit women. I can't think of his name, but maybe you have to swap him out because he's a speed person.
What does he look like?
He has blonde hair. He's
Zoro?
the one that wears a suit. Yeah. Wait, no,
Oh, no.
Zoro's
No.
the one with the 3 swords.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
I played the
it's
demo.
been so long.
Yeah, I played the demo of this, and that system it sounds cool in concept, but God, the UI makes it unintuitive as to what the attacks are.
It didn't tell you? What'd you say? My thing like cut out. What'd you say?
No, I was saying the like UI is unintuitive. Like when it's your turn to attack, like there's all these like arrows going left and right and like showing you the enemy, and I'm like, what's a good attack? I don't know.
Sanji?
That's him. Yeah.
Okay.
And that goes into like my issues with it because it has that kind of power triangle. When you go into a fight, you know who what your characters fall under that triangle, but you don't know the enemy. So you have to actually go to the normal attack and then highlight the enemy you want to attack just to see what they fall under. And then decide what best the move is going to work from there. And then the skills, and also, okay, so you played the demo. You started off at level 40 where it literally just kind of throws you in and it's like, hey, you should know these people and they're all super cool. Like once you get towards the end of that is when your powers get taken and they explain some of the rest of it. But it is overwhelming at first. And the outside of the UI being jacked up, the other thing is I feel like there's going to be a super big difficulty spike that's going to come because it just seems so easy. Like I don't even have to, like I've already unlocked a couple of special attacks once you get your powers back, but you could just hit them with a normal attack and kill most enemies. Like I've fought a couple of bosses which were kind of hard, but not really. But like it's just been kind of a breeze, and I'm hoping that that's about to change since I kind of just now got into the real game of it where you're going through these different memories and I'm in Alabasta now. So
I wouldn't get too hopeful for it because I saw one of the complaints in one of the reviews was that it never gets hard.
Oh man, that's going to suck because it even has an auto battle mode, right? So if you go to a thing, you can just hit Y and just the AI will handle the fights.
Are these like random encounters?
No, the enemies are on the field, so you'll actually run into them. And if you surprise them, you'll get critical.
Is it an action game?
No,
it's a turn-based RPG.
What a weird. Okay, because the way the game looked with like, just in trailers, made me think we were getting the like a follow-up to the other One Piece game there that was pretty good.
The World Seeker or
World Seekers. Yeah.
Nope, this is I thought that too, but no, it's turn-based. It's a turn-based RPG.
Man, the characters, the enemies in this game, and the characters are some goofy-looking motherfuckers.
Are wild. Like
it's that. So I fell off of One Piece when I realized, oh my god,
it's never going to end.
No, I didn't even get that far in. I was like, how many? And then I just saw the amount that was in Japanese that people were translating. When I'm not. No. I don't love this enough. But I've always thought the character designs, like especially the enemy pirate gangs, that
the women are broken.
What a weird artist.
The women are broken. They're
the
weird.
women are like
that's
Nami?
That's my minor complaint.
How is Nami even alive? Like her middle section is so compressed. Like I look at her all the time and I'm like, bitch, how are you surviving?
She would just snap like a twig in half, like.
Pretty sure the design came from Popeye, where nobody's looks realistic.
Oh yeah. Because like you said, Ken, all of the characters are wild. Like it's like you look at them, you're like, how are you a human? Like, can I see your skeleton? How does this work?
Dude, the first time in the demo when you run into the penguins with the tongues hanging out and the sea lions with the big goofy teeth, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, that artist, I don't know who draws One Piece, but yeah, he wild. But whatever, it works for him. So But yeah, so I'm gonna get a review together for it. That's disheartening that it doesn't get any harder because that's it's a breeze right now. It's like not a chat. Like you don't even have to use the special attacks. Like as long as you take advantage of the power triangle and you're hitting the right weakness, you good. You don't even have to use anything else. And that's a shame because some of the special attacks are super cool to watch because of course it's an anime game. But okay. I played Overwatch.
Yeah.
I played some more Midnight Sun. That's an excellent game. Going through it on the second time now. getting ready for the DLC people, which I think Deadpool is supposed to launch sometime soon. I can't talk about that other game I'm playing for review, but that'll be because I think it's embargoed till Wednesday. But that's a thing. And then We Are the Caretakers is not embargoed. I just need to write the review. It's not very good. There's a spoiler alert for the review. It's not very good.
I saw an article yesterday. It's like, and of course the fanboys talking about it is like apparently the developers of We Are the Caretakers tried to get on Game Pass and they got declined. And everybody's like, oh no. Maybe it's because Microsoft played it and they were like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Caretakers? I've never even fucking heard of this.
There's a good thing behind it because like was it 10% of the proceeds when you buy it go to like saving the world? It's one of those things where you're supposed to save endangered species on a planet, alien planet, right? Yeah.
Yep. And it's got and I'm assuming I haven't looked into it, but I'm assuming the developers are African, because even the name of the studio is like the heart-shaped game or something, which is of course how the Black Panther gets his powers, from the heart-shaped herb. Yeah. So it has a whole African kind of tribal vibe to it, which is super dope. Like, and the music is cool too. Like, I love the kind of the style to it, but the graphics need some polish, but then the overall, just the gameplay of it it's not fun.
Heart-shaped games.
Heart-shaped games. That's what they're. Yeah, go ahead.
They're based out of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Wow,
that's close to Africa, right?
That's real close to Africa. All right.
Started by Scott Brody and Kate Brody. They're both white.
I was gonna say those are the whitest names I've heard today. So
then I am. Wow.
However, their narrative director, who's based out of Texas, is not. So I don't know. I cannot pronounce his name. I will post it in chat.
Would it be like Zalavier, maybe?
Zalavier. You know what? That probably is correct. Yeah,
that's kind of cool, actually.
Reading it, Nelson Jr. Yeah, he seems to be their narrative guy. So. They do have people though, like working in other countries and stuff too. So
yeah,
one of the programmers is Australian. I mean, so a nice little write up. I can actually read about their company.
Yeah, I just pulled up their website because I didn't when I played the game. They actually are quite diverse. That's interesting that they went, because it's very, like, I would have sworn that this was made by some African brothers. Like, it's very tribal based, but wow, okay, props to them. Like I said, the kind of the story and like the art style, the music I like, but the gameplay, man, nah, it's not there. So
this ain't it.
This ain't it. So, but yeah, I'll get the review up for that, but that's the spoiler. What else have I played? I played some Marvel Snap, but I don't care about that. That's a card game.
We played Turtles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we went through Turtles. That was fun.
That's why Anthony didn't play anything else this week, because his ass didn't show up for Turtles.
Right.
Sorry, I slept.
Yeah, you should be sorry. You knew what was happening. You knew what was going down.
I'm not sorry at all.
Dang. That's all right. You'll be there for Monster Hunter? That's Friday. That's on Game Pass. Oh, okay. He ain't gonna say nothing. I guess not. Well, anyway,
is that I'd assume that's on Xbox One, right? That's not just series, right?
I think it's on Xbox One.
You imply that I want to play that at all.
Yeah, he don't want to play that. He's like, fuck.
Oh, you don't like Monster Hunter?
No.
Oh, okay. We'll find something else for it.
It was funny. We tried to set up a 6-man TMNT, and we got 4, and ended with 3.
Yep. That's right, because
Ryan left
at the lead.
like 3 levels in. Motherfucker's never gonna finish that game, even though he thinks there's 17 levels and there's only 16.
Right. He was like, yeah, I think it's 17. I must be on the secret level. Right?
Yeah, like, if you're on level 17, Ryan, you finished the game.
Yeah, you beat it. That was it. And we need to get to your save so we can see level 17.
I know. I want to see that extra level.
Shoot. But yeah, it was fun, Anthony. It was a good time. We should start doing that more often, because it was a good time. I enjoyed myself. But no, that's all I got. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably say something. I'm like, oh yeah, I did play that. But yeah.
Nah, dude, I ain't played shit. Like I said, I played 3 games that I can't talk about, even though they're like years old. That's fine. That's always a weird thing.
Yep.
I I can finally talk about. Did I talk about Breakers? I don't remember if I talked about Breakers. So
You didn't.
The
No.
Breakers collection is essentially a couple of Neo Geo games, not made by Neo Geo, but Neo Geo arcade games from like the mid to late 90s. Basically in that era where everybody was trying to be Street Fighter, and of all the ones that I've played that try to be Street Fighter, like these are really the closest to being as good as Street Fighter. Like these games play really, really good. They have some interesting characters. The collection comes with 2 games, but it's essentially like a Street Fighter game where you had Breakers, and then you had Breakers Revenge, which was essentially the first game with some tweaks and, character adjustments, a couple extra stages, and I think 1 extra character. This is a really good collection of 2 really good games. My biggest complaint is that even when you tone down the difficulty, that AI ramps up about match 3 and it's just abusive. It's an
That's fighting
abusive
games, man. That's what they do.
yeah, but like when you have a setting for difficulty, you would think if you toned it down, it would tone down. But no, this game is just like, fuck it, we just gonna whoop your ass after match 3, regardless.
they ease you into it. Like, yeah, you get the medium setting up to stage 3. Now
Yeah.
we get realistic.
Yeah, now we're just gonna whoop your ass. Like I just got thumped so many times playing that game, but I kept coming back, which is a sign it's like it's really good.
That's a good thing.
The biggest part of this collection is that they actually took the time, and this motherfucker is cross-play with rollback netcode, so you can play with
Ooh.
anybody, anywhere, and it's really good. So,
Nice.
but yeah, that's a game that I actually had like way before the break, and I've been playing that for a while, so that was a cool game. My review's done. Needs to go live. Drew didn't send any of my reviews back this week. I sent him 3. What was the other? So the other game I played that just came out this week that I wrote my review for is called Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, which is like
on
one
Switch.
No. It's on PS. I played on PS5.
Okay.
And this is made by Joy Masher, the guys that made was it Okiden and Blazing Chrome?
Oniken.
I played Blazing Chrome.
Blazing Chrome.
Odalis.
Odalis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's those guys basically making a Shinobi / Ninja Gaiden kind of game, but you're a futuristic like robot ninja. It's really good. It's like 8 stages. It really gives me like that Sega Genesis vibe as far as the music and like the visuals are concerned. It's hard. It's definitely very hard. I do like the level up system as you go through the game. You get these augments that will like trade off, so like you do more damage, but your score goes down. Kind of augments. So the game is really built for like speed running. There's even like a Mode 7 style motorcycle stage. It's a really cool game. I don't understand why Joy Masher is so weird about porting games. Like, this is only on PlayStation, I think. Maybe PC as well. So, but it is really good. If you like the other games, you'll like this. It's hard to get what those games do right, like since there's so many of them. But Joy Masher seems to be really good at it. And this is no exception. This one's really good too. Trying to think if there's any other big stuff I played. You talked about One Piece. I did play the demo of that. I thought it was cool. The indie games I played. Dragon Blaze, which is another City Connection game, which means it's a vertical shmup. It's good. Children of Silent Town is a point-and-click game. I didn't really get much into that. Atrio, The Dark Wild is this really... this feels like an Anthony game, like, aesthetically. Like, it's this...
Wait, what is this game called?
It's called Atrio, The Dark Wild. And it's got like this top-down isometric perspective, but the idea of the game is that you're put into these... You're like this cloned dude who has to go in and fix these automated machines. So basically you have to go... It's almost like a strategy game where you're tearing down machines to build new ones to create this kind of assembly line... to create things. And it's a weird game. It's really hard to understand because they don't tutorialize it very well. But the art design is really neat.
Yeah, I just watched the main character die twice, and the corpses are left behind because you're
Yeah.
just coming in as a different clone.
Yeah, they just reclone you over and over again whenever you fail. So it's
And
an
then you
interesting
turn.
idea.
What the fuck? There's monsters, and then you can put those monsters as part of the assembly line.
Yes,
That's fucking
It's-
sort of dark.
it's a weird ass game, but it does not tutorialize itself very well. So you have to spend the time to learn how to play it. There's a lot of menus, a lot of stuff to try to figure out. I tried to play this low, like PS1 low poly horror game called Chasing Static, but I don't know if something was wrong with the game, but like I got to a certain point in it and I just couldn't interact anymore. So I don't know if it's good or bad. I just don't know. Under Dungeon, which you talked about earlier, that's pretty neat little 1-bit dungeon crawling RPG. This next game was weird. It's called Salamander County Public Television. Man, so this game
This sounds like my shit. Just
is
by the name alone.
it's basically you're running a television network and you have to do these mini games as the
It looks like WarioWare.
yeah, exactly. Like the first level is you've got an orange on a banana and you've got to try to throw it a certain distance.
Wow, it sounds like Wario.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the second day of programming, like it's literally every day of programming is a new mini game.
Become a professional thing doer. Complete wacky assignments for Salamander County's local television station, and solve the mystery of why nearly everyone in the county suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know that part of it, but like the main like screen is like a calendar, and then you'll get this like text to voice dude telling you how to what's on docket for the programming for the day, and then you go in and you play a mini game, and the mini games are fucking wild. They look like they were created in like MS Paint.
25 different mini-games, bronze, silver, and gold medal targets for each mini-game. Pretty much everything's a stock photo.
Yeah,
A funny story involving a mouse with really big legs, and lots of dumb videos are the features that they list.
I mean that is accurate.
I'm looking at the achievements on Steam, and even the achievement pictures are stock photos.
Yeah, they just don't care. The orange banana game is called Play Orange. You glad I didn't throw banana?
Nice.
The second mini game, because I'm looking at the achievements I earned. The second mini game is the dog with the strongest tongue. It's a weird.
Is this a
fucking-
Game Pass game or?
No, this is just an indie game.
All right.
There's something. This game is something. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's what I played this week. I was trying to think. The other game I was doing over the backlog over the holiday break was back in Star Ocean. So I think I'm like 4 hours into that, the new one.
Is it better?
I like it. It's
Okay.
it's very much a tri-ace game of like, yeah, it's just kind of that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Solid. Yeah, it's just okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. It's another one of those tri-ace games. But anyway, we're finally back on a release cadence. We got some games. This week, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. We've got Recall, Space for the Unbound, Gray's Counter GM, Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale, and Monster Hunter Rise. And then PlayStation 5 is probably a lot of the same stuff. Yeah, but for some reason the Persona games aren't listed on PS5, which is weird because I know they're coming out on PS5.
Nah, they not. Of course they are. Of course they are.
Xbox or PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, pretty much the same stuff. Wings of Blue Star is a game on that list. And then Xbox One, yeah. Omega Bot is the other game. Out on Friday. Oh, snap, that Risen remaster comes out not this week, but next week. I forgot they were doing that.
Wait, they're remastering Risen?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
had that in news. You don't like way back? You don't remember that?
Oh, dude, I don't fucking remember. I'll tell you the reason why, because they're also doing one for Gothic 2 or some shit.
Do you know the one I'm excited for that I like? They announced it and then just never talked about it again. Was Enclave? I don't know if you ever played Enclave.
Yeah,
It was an old original Xbox/PC game. I love that game.
I feel like I did
was that-
play Enclave.
Was that Starbreeze?
Yes, that is Starbreeze.
How the fuck do I remember stupid shit like this? Asked me to do math from high school. I don't know. I don't remember.
That's all of us, man. That ain't just you.
Yeah, that's
But I can remember who made fucking... Yuck. Yeah, it is too. God damn it, I hate myself.
All right, Nintendo Switch. We've got Mrs. Cat Between Worlds. A Matter of Principle. A lot of the same games we've already talked about, including the Persona games. Colossal Cave, reimagined by Roberta Williams. Minimal Move. Monorail Stories. Never Awake. Rubber Bandits. Smilemo. Void Prison. Zumimon. Counter Bottle Shooter Pro Aim Master Target Bottle Shoot 3D Game Strike Pistol.
Jesus.
That's all one game. Escape to the Ocean. Gardenia. Harlem Girl Isabella. Midnight Runner Blade Galaxy Beat Puzzle Legacy 3D Games Ultimate Edition. I gotta get all these out in one breath.
I mean, Lord.
Peachy Boy, Trenches, and finally Fire Emblem Engage. So it's a pretty big week. Persona, Monster Hunter, and Fire Emblem, those are 4 really big games. So, not a bad week. It's finally nice to be seeing video games. And then the next, man, the end of January through February is fucking banana sandwich. A lot of video games.
It starts.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the news. Like I said, I had some news hits from last week. I'll just run through those real quick, and then I'll get to the news of this week, which wasn't a ton. Bandai Namco is apparently recruiting for a Nintendo game, 3D action, maybe Kid Icarus. So, Microsoft, Activision deal, of course, there's always something about that every week, but they plan to close the deal if the FTC doesn't come to a conclusion. There are no talks yet, and it's in pre-trial. That's what's going on there. Rumor mill, Persona 3 remake is in the works. Should be interesting.
Persona 3.
Yes. So there's big hoopla over this Persona 3 remaster because they're doing portable instead of Fez. Is that right? I think.
Yeah, I believe it was a remake. They're putting out portable again rather than the console version.
Yeah. So now the rumor is that the next one up is a remake of 3, which will probably include the Fez stuff. So. Wizards of the Coast has canceled up to 5 games, as well as laying off a bunch of people working on them. So that was a story from last week. System Shock remake finally got a release date. It's due out in March. We had CES while we were doing the Game of the Year stuff. Sony announced that they've sold 30 million PS5s worldwide, which is a lot of PS5s, but also is lower than their initial target. They also said that the shortage should be over, so you should be able to just walk in and buy one now.
Everybody says that's a lie, but go ahead.
I have not been inside a retail store in so long, I couldn't tell you if you can find them in stores, but I know that I went on Best Buy's website and tried to buy one just to see if you could, and I could.
Yeah, you can get them online, but I went to the stores and because I still haven't replaced mine that they could have just sent me one. And they did not. But anyways, they're not like in the store, but you can get it online.
They also announced PSVR is launching with 30 games. I believe 10 of them will be cross-buy, so you'll get like your old games, upgraded to the PSVR 2 version.
That's cool.
And then they also announced Project Leonardo, which is their accessibility controller, which is cool. That's always cool when you do one of those. I still really wish there was just one universal one that would work on everything, because I feel like buying $300 or $400 controllers is kind of crappy. But
It definitely. Yep.
you know, it kind of defeats the whole accessibility part of it.
Right.
But I'm always about, making games better for other people to play. Hitman is being rebranded as Hitman World of Assassination, so there's no longer Hitman 1, 2, 3. It's now just called Hitman World of Assassination. Contains all maps from 1 through 3. They also have a release date for that roguelike version, which I think is out soon, like the next week or two.
I think so.
NetEase acquired Skybox Labs. When I wrote this news story down, I knew what they did, but that was 2 weeks ago, so I think it's...
I was about to say, I don't know who that is.
I'm pulling them up.
I think they worked
Oh, they're the
on-
ones that worked on a bunch of shit.
Yeah, like Halo and something
Minecraft.
else. Yeah.
Fallout 76.
Oh, God. Yeah, they've worked on everything. Jesus.
Halo 5. A bunch of Age of Empires and stuff.
Age of Mythology. Rise of Nations. Oh, that game is so good.
Well, now they're owned by NetEase, so...
Huh.
It seemed mostly to be a companion studio.
Yeah, support studio.
Yeah.
Gears of War is back, y'all,
Okay.
Oh,
as a
Lord.
card game.
Okay.
That's right.
Did that Funko Pop version ever release?
Yeah, it was a phone.
yes.
It was a phone game.
It actually is not bad either. It plays like I don't know if it's still being supported because I fell off.
I was
going
gonna say, wait a minute, didn't it come out and then get shut down?
Yeah, I think it might be gone now. But it played like Clash of Clans. So if you know anything about that game, where you have the different units and you have to destroy the 2 towers and then get up to the the top to destroy the win.
Is
It's
Viggo
a real quick
Mortensen in
game.
it?
He was not. No.
It's the 2 towers. All right. Also, fanboy fodder for the Twitterverse. Former Forza Horizon devs have left the company to make Maverick Games, and they're currently working on a AAA open world title. So everybody ran with that.
It'll be exclusive to the PlayStation. Is that what we're saying?
No, it's just working at an Xbox studio sucks so bad they left to make their own. That's how that works.
No, I knew that's what you were saying. I was just being funny. Like, yeah, they left. Now their game's gonna be exclusive. I'm like, well, damn.
Microsoft announced that Xbox Developer _Direct. Yes, I'm going to say the underscore
Why
because
did you say-
Microsoft is insisting on putting it in there.
Okay.
That will be on January 25th. They have said it will focus on 4 games. Redfall. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Redfall, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and
No,
what's the other one,
No,
Ken?
it's Redfall. Oh, fuck, I don't know if I remember. Redfall, Forza. I'm trying to save the funny one for last. What's the third one? Fuck. This is how bad Microsoft games are. I don't know what they have.
I mean, it's really, they've done this,
What is the third game?
Say,
The
it
fourth game
is-
is Elder Scrolls Online because nobody gives a shit. What's the third game?
I know Sea of Thieves.
No, it's not Sea of Thieves. It's... Fuck. It's not Starfield either because they said that's going to come in a different day.
No, that's getting a separate one. Oh, here we go. Finally. I don't know why my thing didn't pull
Why-
up. Elder Scrolls Online.
No, that's the funny one. What's the third one?
Oh. Minecraft Legends?
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. I forgot about that game.
Why is that not the funny one? That's just a PvP multiplayer game.
It's-
Like, that ain't even...
Dude, Elder Scrolls Online is funny because it's 4 fucking years old.
Oh, actually, yeah, okay.
4? No. Not 4 years old.
How old is it?
That game is 7 at least.
Okay. So I'm shocked Sea of Thieves is not in this. Because why the fuck not?
Actually, why is... Yeah.
Because, 2015 is when I bought my copy. Came out for PC in 2014.
Yeah.
I bought it then, because I bought it when it launched on PC.
Oh
So,
my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Microsoft's like, check out our new games from 7 years ago. The fuck, man?
2015 is when it came out on consoles, and that's when I bought it.
Only 3 of the games they're showing are new stuff. I mean, the Elder Scrolls thing is literally just going to be whatever expansion, because they launch an expansion every year. So it's going to be whatever expansion is dropping this year. Big whoop.
This thing has been confirmed to be 45 minutes for 4 games, one of which is 7 years old. All 3 of them we know about. I'm assuming we'll get release dates for Redfall and Minecraft and Forza. Like that makes sense. But like, motherfucker, Nintendo Directs are like 25 minutes and they have like 20 games in them.
Yeah, a bajillion. Like, man. That's what they need to do.
Because there's 20 games to fucking talk about.
But they have games to talk about. They just don't want to talk about them.
I have a feeling they fucking don't at this point. Because they haven't.
My point is not just, like, Nintendo Directs are not just first party. Why is Microsoft not talking about Atomic Heart? Or Lies of P? Or, a bunch of the other games that they've got?
That's a good point, yeah.
Like, I get...
Let us know that the Stalker devs are okay, because that's a thing that, like, they haven't done.
You know what else I'd like? A motherfucking release date for GoldenEye. That
You
would
might
be cool.
get this.
Coming soon in September, and it's fucking January now.
He is real turned about this GoldenEye.
I mean, how hard is it to put a ROM on your service?
Apparently really harder than we think.
Coming soon in the September showcase, and here we are, January 15th of 2023. And nobody's even as much as fucking whispered Pierce Brosnan.
Yep. I ain't even heard Tina Turner utter one song bit of that. I don't know where I was going with that. She sung the GoldenEye song. Anyways,
who did the backing music for it?
I don't know.
U2 wrote that song.
Did they really?
Yeah. That it's U2 playing basically the background music for it, and that's the reason why. GoldenEye facts no one asked for. The reason why that song doesn't have any sort of features of if you listen to every other sort of James Bond theme, it has elements of the score, or the score continues elements of the song in the movie.
Yeah, and I know
there's usually a motif that kind of carries.
Yep.
That movie, it doesn't, because I'm pretty sure that song was a last-minute change. Because originally they had Ace of Base write a song called "The GoldenEye," and the lyrics fit the plot of the movie. However, Ace of Base, I think this may have been around the time where it started to be exposed that one of their members was an ex-neo-Nazi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You should have seen the signs. I mean,
yeah. The sign was a swastika. And so that version does exist of their theme song, and it syncs up with that intro perfectly.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I did not, and I'm a huge James Bond fan. I did not know any of that.
They did a ended up releasing the song on their own under the name The Juvenile, but I'm pretty sure that the GoldenEye version leaked. Because I've heard it. I just don't know if it's still out there on YouTube. But there's a couple of scenarios like that where Radiohead was asked to do a song for Spectre that wasn't taken. There's been a bunch where they've asked multiple people sort of to kind of present something.
And then they picked the best one. I got you.
I think Shirley Bassey, who, I mean, if you're going to ask me who's got the best Bond themes, it's consistently her.
Oh, it's definitely her, yeah.
She has, I think she's done a couple of songs for movies that were, much later. But, I mean, we can all just come into agreement that Madonna's still the worst.
Absolutely.
Die Another Day. Die
Another Day? Yeah, absolutely. And then they gave her a cameo. Okay, we've talked a lot about James Bond. Go ahead. Go now. They still ain't got it.
I love talking about that shit. Sorry. I love just the drama behind the scenes.
All right. Metal Gear Solid rumors again. This is gonna be the new Metroid Prime remake, right?
Yep.
Although I kind of believe this one because this sounds like something Sony would do, get an exclusive. Because they did it for Silent Hill, why not Metal Gear, right?
I believe that. Yeah, I think that'll probably happen too. Because I mean, Metal Gear. Wait, unless you're about to seg into what we were talking about earlier, what you put in the chat. We were talking about
No,
that.
no, no. I'm not. That's confidential.
Gotcha. Okay. But no. So, yeah, I think that since Metal Gear is synonymous with Sony anyway, kind of like Final Fantasy has been forever, right? So it probably, yeah, it'll end up being, and it'll crush my soul. Even though I really just want them, and I feel like they could make money with this if they just remake the two remaster, the two that were on NES, the Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. They need to remaster those, and then that would bring in a whole new audience to Solid Snake and Big Boss, and it would help explain stuff that some people probably didn't understand about with the long monologue in Metal Gear Solid 4 when Big Boss showed up. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm a Metal Gear fan. I would like to see those other two redone because I think the one on GameCube is already a perfect remaster of Solid. Like it's great.
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't played it
absolutely.
recently, but
Springboarding off the missile thing.
Oh,
It's a weird moment where it's like, I know those games totally fuck around a lot, but it's just like, what what was
you're right.
added by this?
Yeah.
Ubisoft has canceled 3 more unannounced games, as well as delaying Skull and Bones.
Well, that game ain't never gonna come out. They just need to
They
stop.
have to. They have to.
I think I read
believe
something about that. They
I
have an
believe
agreement with the
Singapore government. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a feeling that is absolutely true. I just could totally, because I mean, that's the reason why they're in Canada a lot too. There's, tax cuts and stuff for developing in Canada. But I don't know what Singapore's agreement was, and so I could totally see them making a bad agreement and still having to ship a product. Because it's the same with, like, what benefit, and I'm one that says, like, I like when studios open in other places. I genuinely think having a different set of eyes on certain franchises, like, especially with something like, say, Assassin's Creed, having studios around the world helps just by the fact that everybody has a different perspective on how this series should go. The Rabbids Party game on the Switch, Rabbids Party of Legends, was made by Chinese Ubisoft studio. I don't know where they are. I don't know if it's Shanghai.
It's probably Ubisoft Shanghai.
But but why would they open a studio in India, right? Like, there has to be something in it for Ubisoft to see a value of opening a studio. So man, they have a ton of studios. Holy shite. I just looked up a list, and the fact that it's as big as it is kind of scares me. It's just, they have way too much, and they're making agreements with places, and there's just no way they can put all this stuff out.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Ubisoft. I don't. If I had to pick one of the big companies that won't be around in 5 years, that would be the one.
So I like Ubisoft's old stuff more, and I know that's not a hot take, but like, the change really started come Assassin's Creed. That's when, like, I think they started to just make one game, essentially. And it's funny that, like, one of their devs came out and said that, like, achievements are stifling game design. Well, yeah, you work for Ubisoft. That would, because that's basically all they're built around, is collecting shit. The best parts of those games, the best parts of Assassin's Creed are not the parts where you're collecting random shit. And I wish they would find themselves again, because, like, the Ubisoft that made Rayman 2 was amazing. The Ubisoft that did Splinter Cell was amazing. Even the early Rainbow Six games were amazing. Like it's weird that they've let themselves just turn into this over-bloated mess, just like their games.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, in North America, they have Blue Mammoth that makes Brawlhalla. They have Jesus Christ. They have Hybrid Technologies, which is in Quebec. They make visual effects for films and TV shows. Quazzle, I guess, make cross-platform multiplayer tools for video games. Red Storm, which does just virtual reality stuff at this point.
It's
Like,
crazy.
I thought they did Tom Clancy stuff. They don't do
They
Tom
used to
Clancy
do
stuff anymore?
Rainbow Six. They used to do it. They don't do it anymore.
Oh, I thought they were still doing Siege or whatever. Okay.
Like, just looking, oh my god, there's a Ubisoft Halifax, Ubisoft Montreal, Ubisoft Quebec, Saguenay, San Francisco, Sherbrooke, Toronto, Winnipeg.
Jesus Christ.
Europe has 1492 Studio, Future Games of London, Green Panda Games, i3d.net, Ivory Tower, a Catch App, which is a great name. I don't know who they are, but they're mobile game stuff. Colibri Games, Massive Entertainment, Nadio, Owlin, Ubisoft Red Links, Ubisoft Annecy, Barcelona Mobile, Belgrade,
They
Blue
have
Byte,
all these
Berlin,
studios.
Mainz, Bordeaux, Bucharest, CRC, Kiev, Leamington, Milan, Montpellier, Odessa, Paris Mobile, Reflection, Sofia, Stockholm. That's just Europe. Then you get into Asia and it's like Abu Dhabi, Chengdu, Da Nang, Mumbai, Osaka, Philippines, Pune, Shanghai, Singapore. And then
I feel like
there's
we're
the
singing a Johnny
formers.
Cash song right now.
Like,
Right?
it's just... like, they've only lost 5 studios. That's it. They've just kept building more and more, but it's like, can you
Who are they
name...
canceling? Go ahead.
Like, yeah, like, can you name what these people do? Like,
Right. Like, what the fuck? You just canceled a bunch of games, but you have... What are these studios doing? Like...
Stockholm is working with Massive Entertainment on the upcoming Avatar game.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, and the Star Wars game. Massive is doing that too, ain't they?
Maybe.
I think.
Like, Sofia in Bulgaria, they were the co-development studio. They're a co-development studio, but they have led the development on Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation and Assassin's Creed Rogue. What else have they done? I don't know. Ubisoft Reflections were doing the Driver series, and then they became a support team for the Division, and they also are the team that did Grow Home. But it's
Dang,
just
I
like,
forgot
what the
about
fuck?
Driver. Wow. Okay.
So
That
did
was a while
Ubisoft.
ago.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The company Montpellier is working on Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Space Junkies. They ain't working on fucking Beyond Good and Evil 2. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't think that game is ever going to
No.
come. And it's so sad because I probably want that more than I want Star Citizen to be a real game. But, you know,
I'm gonna start calling Star Citizen Pinocchio.
I mean, at this point, like,
It wants to be a real boy,
it does.
and it never will
What?
be.
No, it's been 10 years. It's still in alpha. Jesus. Oh.
All right. I'm going to move on to the last story that I have, which is the PlayStation Plus Extra and PP games.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we got the lineup as again Extra, excellent. We got Back for Blood, Dragon Ball Fighters, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange, Jet the Far Shore, Just Cause 4 Reloaded, Omno, Erica. Those are your extra games. So, pretty decent lineup. PlayStation PP finally remembered the PS1 was a thing, and they've added 3 games. This is a weird lineup. I mean, Siphon Filter 3, okay, we knew that was coming. That makes sense because we got 1, 2, and now 3.
Mm-hmm.
Hot Shots Golf 2, also classic, great game.
Yeah, that one's good.
The last game was Star Wars Demolition.
Yeah, I don't know what
That's Twisted Metal with Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, I don't think that did well when it came out.
It
Like,
did
why?
not.
Yeah, so why?
But it's such a weird pull, like
It is.
Star Wars Demolition before Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Before Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Before Final Fantasy VII. What the fuck is going on over there?
I think they're throwing darts at a board at this point. They're just like, all right, Star Wars. That's what it is. That it's got to be because that's so random.
I'm expecting next month for us to get Masters of the Terrace Kasi, however you say it.
Terrace Kasai, yeah, that firefighting Star Wars game.
Yeah,
good stuff.
with Arden
Jesus.
Lynn, you know, the one appearance she had. Yeah, that's a cool game.
That game was it was cool in concept, but so bad at execution.
How did you fuck up a Star Wars fighting game? It's so easy.
I know it was so bad. Oh man, me and my brother, we almost got into a real fist fight over that game.
Well, this is a bad game.
Jesus. Oh.
I still play it though.
You know what? I don't blame you because Mara Jade is in that game, and Mara Jade is an underserved character, and they need to bring her back.
That shit's broken now. She's not real anymore.
Yeah, right? She's a legend now, unfortunately, which is
Disney and that stupid option like that they made. Like, just
yeah.
How dare they just be like, we're done with this stuff, and then they go, actually, not this part.
Right.
Fuck you.
And see, now they're going back and picking and choosing from what stuff was legend, what they're bringing up. You shouldn't have just washed it all away in the first place. You should have been more concise about what you wanted.
Like, they did nothing.
No.
Like, the only thing they got from that, and like, I know some people disagree with me, but like, the only two things they'd lose is Solo and anything attached to Rogue One. Those are the only... So, like, because I don't think... you know what, they might have... Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, I guess, would be new additions, but, like, it wouldn't be the first time that the Star Wars stuff kind of overwrote what existed previously, because...
Oh, yeah.
You know, they would change lore sometimes to fit a more interesting, better story. You know, so it's just, it's just,
they got rid of so much, like, Luke's whole Dark Empire stuff. Kyle Katarn is a huge one. Like,
yeah, they replaced one guy with a team that all dies.
Yep.
What's crazy is the Outrider is in the special edition.
Right! Like, it doesn't make sense! It just, whatever. It's fine. I mean, Kyle Katarn's journey could have been a whole set of movies. If they had made him the protagonist of Rogue One and did, like, he stole the Death Star plans and then showed his journey coming to a Jedi and then a teacher in Luke's school. Like, there was so much potential for Kyle Katarn.
Well, I mean, there was also a story that was told about Luke training the next Jedi. You know, kind of what they did.
Yeah.
And then didn't do.
But they didn't do. They just showed a flashback in one movie.
But I'm like, spoilers for old Star Wars stuff and new Star Wars stuff. One of them ends up being Ben Solo. Hey!
Yeah.
Like, that was part of the fucking story. Thanks for coming out. They took that and did it worse.
Well, they were supposed to be twins.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason and Jaina.
But, like, Ben Solo was just a whole fucking thing. They just did everything worse that they took. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, they literally took what was there, shook it all up, and poured it out. Because, like, the Solo kids were twins, and Jaina had to kill Jason when he went to the... It was a whole big emotional thing, and this was over, like, 12 books. Because that's how Mara Jade got killed and everything.
But They made Rey Palpatine's granddaughter. Come on, man!
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, no, it even gets worse. And Palpatine can just put himself into new bodies.
Yeah,
Of course.
Like,
So,
I mean,
so when do you win? Also, all those Star Destroyers are just under the surface of a planet, huh?
Master
Yeah.
Cypher Diaz.
J.J. Abrams is terrible. I know I'm sure I've said that before, but, like, name something that J.J. Abrams finished and was good.
I think he did a Mission Impossible movie that I liked.
Yeah,
right?
Tom Cruise has full, like, creative control. Don't kid
Oh,
yourself
that's
there.
true. That's true.
He was
I'm
hired
actually
to
hyped for
direct-
the new one.
Yeah, so,
I don't know, because didn't he do Lost? And I fell off
he
of Lost.
starts Lost.
Oh, he
and
didn't
then
finish it?
Left it with no.
I didn't know that.
So here's the thing that people bring in J.J. Abrams for. I need something spectacular to sell an idea, and then he does a thing, and then he fucking bails. And Damon Lindelof finished Lost. There was like no direction because J.J. went and did Star Trek.
Yeah. And then bailed from that, I think, after the second one?
Man, I wouldn't say any of those movies were fantastic.
No,
They were
and I'm a Star
good
Trek
at
fan.
best.
They were good, yeah. They weren't fantastic. But I saw their approach because they were trying to get more people to Star Trek. And Star Trek is not a overly actiony franchise. And that's kind of what
but,
they brought. But all
I
that
prefer
fucking
the-
lens flare. Jesus.
Yeah, I prefer the less exciting
I do too.
Star Trek.
I do too.
Yeah, he started what was it called? Fringe. He didn't finish Fringe.
Fringe
Oh,
got
wow, that was
finished.
him too.
Fringe
Yeah,
got
but
finished.
I guess J.J. Abrams left, though. I guess
Yeah,
is
he
what he's
did.
saying.
I mean, just like Lost. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's my
that's what-
problem.
yeah.
He starts all these things that are interesting, but he can't finish anything, so he leaves it with like no direction because
Oh,
fascinating to watch, but has no actual goal in mind. So like the story's not really written. He's just doing something and then basically fucks off, and other people are like, well, now I have to figure out what the fuck's going on. Now,
Did
to
he
be
do
fair,
first Cloverfield?
yes.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that was him.
I don't remember what he did in Cloverfield. He may have just produced it.
Yeah, because I think that was Bad Robot. Is that his company or his production?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was only a producer on Cloverfield. But yeah,
Okay.
it's just like, he drives me nuts, because yeah, it's just always like, he does a thing, and then he bails, and like, other people have to pick up the pieces. Now again, Lost, he left early on, but nevertheless, like, literally there was no goal in mind when they crashed on that beach. There was no story. They were just like, do something big. So he did. And then it's like, well, what's gonna happen now? Who gives a shit? I got paid, and they fucking out.
But I fell off of that show after probably the second season, and then I would hear stuff because obviously at that time like everybody was watching Lost and it was a huge thing. So I would hear.
Then
different
everybody was
stuff, but
disappointed by Lost. Then they learned nothing and started watching Game of Thrones and said that I should watch that too. And then they were all really disappointed at the end of Game of Thrones.
Dang,
It's like,
that's right.
Pretty
you know.
sure most people are unhappy at the end of every television series. People
Uh,
hate The Sopranos ending. People hate the 24
That's the only
ending.
one that I'll defend. Like, you don't, like, because people are dumb. You don't want an ending. It's never going to be satisfying if you just are handed the answers.
Yeah, I actually liked because I saw The Sopranos. That's funny. We're like talking about TV shows. I watched The Sopranos for the first time like last year or year before last. Liked the ending. I liked that they kind of leave it up to the viewer of what they want that his fate to be. Like I don't know. But I guess they. Was there a movie that came out
Yes,
that
but
portrayed
it's a
him?
Prequel.
It's a prequel.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Okay, all right.
It's him
James
growing up.
Gandolfini's son plays
Yeah.
Tony Soprano.
The movie is not great,
Oh, okay. Well, I'll skip it
unfortunately.
then.
But
I liked the show. The show was great.
the show is
Good
still
stuff.
one of the top 3 TV shows of all time.
Yeah,
so good.
it's really good.
All right, we're gonna wrap this show down. with-
One quickly.
Oh, go ahead.
No, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic isn't affected by Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro changing the license for their what's it called? OGL, the Open Games license. But other games are. So you know, if you look, people are combining lists of like what uses the OGL that might go away soon if Hasbro does end up changing the rules. It's a shitty event. Like it sucks, but like yeah, the Star Wars one was actually built by Wizards of the Coast for Lucasfilm, so I don't think they actually have to use like there's no effect. There's nothing being affected by the fact that the OGL is changing because that wasn't part of the OGL to begin with. But
I didn't know that was. Huh. I've read about that. I saw but I didn't know it was going to affect stuff that was already out and
yeah,
published,
like
so
they're changing it to the point where it could affect stuff that's already published. Like it's one of the biggest fuck yous. So the people
I've
that
read
do
it.
Pathfinder, as well as a bunch of other big sort of creators, Pathfinder, Paizo is probably the biggest out of all of them. Anybody that's been working off the OGL, they're basically making a new equivalent and are going to basically keep Wizards of the Coast out so they can't be affected. Because what the OGL is like basic elements of what makes D&D is open for use to the public, while certain aspects are not. And so, like, you can't have a beholder in your game because that is technically, it can look like a beholder, but you can't use the name beholder because that is a D&D term.
Right.
So it gets a little weird with what is and isn't, but down to the basic of like you're rolling a D20. Well, the D20 is a system that is like owned by Wizards of the Coast, I believe, under a different license. So it gets very complex on what is and isn't, but basically because this is going to affect so many people, a bunch of these third-party creators and people that make their own tabletop games are coming together to try to fight it. But yeah, I've seen a bunch of articles saying that like Knights of the Old Republic, because it uses the basis of a tabletop game, it's going to be affected, and then Disney will just sue Hasbro into an oblivion. But that's not true because Knights of the Old Republic is based off of the Wizards tabletop game built for Star Wars, so there's no OGL attached to it because Wizards made it. They don't need to use the open game license; they're the owners.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to affect the remaster, or if it's going to. Or
I don't
no,
think
that's
it's
on
gonna
hold. It's on hold.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Definitely,
going to affect it anyways because again, it's using
its own
a
thing
system that was
they-
made for
them.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah, I saw
Hasbro
Gambit-
would have to fight that, and I don't picture Hasbro seeing a benefit to fighting that because they get to make toys based off of.
Well, yeah.
So-
Right. Okay. Well, no, go ahead. Yeah, I read some of this about this.
I just
saw
wanted to bring up
Gambit
the
was talking
OGL
about
because it is going to affect a bunch of games. I've watched. Give me a second. I will find.
Neverwinter Nights. That probably is-
Well, that's a D&D game, so
Oh.
that
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
get
Neverwinter
affected
is
because
D&D. Yeah,
that
you're
is a Dungeons and Dragons game.
property.
Um, But like the Pathfinder games,
yeah.
those right now are under
Or-
attack because that's a Pathfinder game which uses the OGL. There's a bunch of independent stuff. There's a guy on YouTube called William SRD, and he does a lot of like tabletop based stuff. He's talked about Warhammer games. He's a great watch, but he did a video called 7+ video games that use the D&D OGL, and it's worth a watch if you're interested in tabletop stuff being adapted to video games. He talks about some lesser known titles that are going to be screwed by this.
Okay.
All right. We are going to close the show with some emails from people for their Game of the Year, as well as some tweets. So I'm going to kick it off with Neo Shakespeare. Sent us an email. Said, "Howdy crew, been a while since I've written in, but I figured I would chime in on the Game of the Year discussions. I've played about 70 plus games this year and finished 64. God damn. With about 40 of them being from this year. Unfortunately, I don't have Elden Ring on my list. I did have it sitting somewhere around number 4, but decided to take it off completely because I just don't feel like I've completed enough of it yet. I should be finishing it sometime this year. Same goes for Marvel's Midnight Suns. However, I'm pretty sure both of these games would be in my top 10 list. Otherwise, here's my list. Number 10, Madison. Number 9, Gotham Knights. Number 8, Chained Echoes. Number 7, As Dusk Falls. Number 6, Dying Light 2. Number 5, A Plague Tale Requiem. Number 4, Moss Book 2. Number 3, Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS5. Number 2, Horizon Forbidden West. Number 1, God of War Ragnarok. Honorable mentions: The Diofield Chronicle, The Quarry, Rollerdrome, New Tales from the Borderlands, Ghostwire Tokyo, Stray, TMNT Shredder's Revenge, and Crisis Core Reunion. I'd also like to throw in Biggest Disappointment. Oh, he says, I'd also like to throw in some other rankings. Feel free to chime in with yours as well. He said Biggest Disappointment, but then the email cuts off. So
I didn't know about Madison. I'm looking at screenshots of it. That's a creepy looking ass game.
What is it?
Madison?
Oh yeah, the horror game. Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't think if I've seen it, I don't remember it. The hands, here's a weird compliment. The hands are probably some of the most realistic looking hands from a first person view I've ever seen. That's uncomfortable.
Like he had Moss 2 on there. That actually probably I haven't finished it, or else it probably would have made my list, because that
Moss
actually is good.
and Plague Tale are 2 games I forgot came out in 2022.
I forgot that too. Like I said, I haven't finished Moss 2.
Plague Tale came out at the worst time.
I didn't play the first one. Like, what? I know it's like you're saving your brother or something from a.
I haven't played the
plague?
first one either, but the second one came out. It's next gen only, and it came out like during a time where other things were coming out. Like, it couldn't have been. Like, I think we were on the verge of getting God of War, and it. Oh, fuck, man, Plague Tale. Hold on. Yeah, I just remember it being like, yeah, Plague Tale's coming out. Like, ooh, that is not the biggest game this week. That came out on October 17th.
October was a crazy month.
Yeah, like... I'm just pulling up
and
the
he had
old...
Gotham Knights on there, which is awesome, because yes, that is a good game.
I need that 60 FPS patch so I can go finish that game.
I hope they drop that this year.
Plague Tale Requiem. So here's what came out kind of in October. Looking at the big titles. Sorry here. More. It's looking. Because like right now it's As Your Striker Gunvolt. That's not one of the big ones. No. No More Heroes 3 released on the 14th on other consoles. Plague Tale Requiem came out on the 18th, the same as them Fighting Herds. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection came out on Windows the day after. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope came out that same Friday. Vampire Survivors came out on Windows that day. Alan Wake Remastered came out on the Switch. Gotham Knights came out on the 21st, so not too long after. I just don't see how that one stuck out.
Man, it did get released in a bad time, but I've heard good things about it. I didn't play the first one, so I wasn't even looking at the second one.
I don't know how much of money they had to do advertising for. I remember it being really pushed early on, and then closer to release, just not seeing as much about it. Other than, like, you can play it on Switch via cloud or whatever.
All right. Moving on. Jeremy writes and says, hey guys, no surprises here, but my game of the year is hands down Elden Ring. That game definitely made its way into my top 10 and possibly top 5 games of all time. It was tough, but there were so many amazing areas and bosses. Every time I thought I had discovered everything, I would find a new area or underground challenge. So much of that game could have been DLC, but it was included in the main game and at the $60 price tag. A couple honorable mentions are Xenoblade 3. That game was a grind and almost totally forgettable for me until the ending. That was pretty bonkers, but it's 60 hours to get there. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm enjoying Sonic Frontiers, but I haven't played enough to get a good handle on it. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's Game of the Year picks. Sorry for the book. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Adam writes in and says, hey all, loved your lists. Can't wait to try a few of those games, especially Power Wash Simulation.
I mean, you know what? That I almost put that on my list just almost as a gag, but I mean, it really is just this satisfying, stupid ass game.
Oh God, yes.
If you like collectathons or like getting all this shit on in like Assassin's Creed, like this is that on a micro scale. Got to get all the dirt.
Man, the dirt is so satisfying to get to.
I'm gonna have to play it for real, I guess.
I mean, it's on Game Pass, so it's nothing.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Nothing to lose.
Exactly.
Go outside, you start spraying the stuff outside, just watching that dirt come off. Mhm.
Oh, it's so sad. And that the first time you get the ding when you clean something entirely.
Oh, watching watching like the light on the van like just shine once it's completed. You're like, yeah.
Okay, I'm installing it remotely. Lord.
There you go.
Okay, you
He
talked
says-
me into it.
In the spirit of Zero, I wanted to share my personal crazy out there #1 game of 2022. Yeah, nobody, I didn't get any comments about the fact that I picked Atari. That's my game of the year.
I wasn't surprised. You gave it a 10.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
It
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's to me, it's like not. It's the same reason why I didn't put the Turtles collection on mine. It was just like these games stand alone. It's like almost like I don't. I have to judge them differently because it's like it's the package of like it's so weird because they're just old games, and it's like I didn't put like they're good games. Like some of those Atari games are bad, but like for the most part, you know what the games are going to play like, and if you have any sort of care for Atari, like they're going to be the best version of that. It's just that is not why those collections are amazing, in my opinion. Like the Turtles collection, yeah, it's a bunch of great games and then a few bad ones, but it's like it's the wrapper of it that's like amazing. So I don't know. It's like it's weird to put it on the list when the games are good, but it's really the experience of like watching these or looking at these documents and everything. Like that's not for everybody. So I just didn't put on my like Turtles on my list because that's one I played because I was like, the game part is cool and it's good, but that is not why I would suggest it. And I wouldn't. If you were like, what's the best library-esque item? Turtles, Atari. So I don't say it's out there. You gave it a 10, but it is a weird one to put on, I guess. I'm torn, is what I'm saying.
His shocking game of the year is Dragon Ball: The Breakers. It's okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, that one's a weird one. Okay, yeah.
He said, "Hear me out. Yeah. It's another one of those asymmetrical games, but damn, this one does it well. I've played a few of them, and this one has great balance. I think one of the best things is that you can pick up from one of the 3 big bads from the show, and each one has massively different gameplay. Anyone who even has a passing interest in Dragon Ball should give it a go."
I think it's only like $20 too. I'll try it. I mean, I play those asymmetrical, and I played I think it was a beta, and it wasn't bad. It was different. I just was hoping for a Game Pass release.
I mean, maybe at some point it might.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Oh, Jeremy Ryder
That
was
is the weirdest. That is the weirdest choice.
Yeah, that's not.
I'm not even. It's not even criticizing. It's just like I don't think that's made. I've seen some people put on disappointment, and I'm like, man, that's how I feel about all these games. You can't criticize them. Just Dragon. They're like, it's just another one of these. I'm like, yeah, but you've praised other ones of these, so you can't just say it's another one of these. Yeah. It's very odd, though. I have not seen that in anybody's list. So to hear it as #1, like, I'm glad. I hope it's got the player base.
Yeah.
Jeremy wrote in with an honorable mention. He says, "Hey guys, just wanted to add one other game to my list. Returnal is a blast." Was Returnal this year?
No.
I don't
It
think
was on PC this year. I
PC
think
this
Yeah.
year.
So yeah, I guess if you played it on PC and not PS5.
He says, "If they would make a Metroid game like this, I would be in." Oh God, yeah. Returnal is so good.
I'm assuming he's talking about like the visual.
Yeah,
And
visual
play
language
style,
in that game is so
Because I don't know if I'd
good.
want to repeat stuff in Metroid.
No. I don't want it to be roguelike. I want it to be the visual language of a Returnal as Metroid. Oh God, it'd be so good.
Was Returnal like an exclusive to Epic?
No, it's on Steam.
It's
Is
on
it-
Steam.
It's saying so it hasn't come out. It didn't come out. It came out in 2021. Returnal is coming soon to PC.
Oh,
this year.
Oh.
it still hasn't come. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm looking because like if you look on Steam, that's the reason why I asked if it was Epic exclusive because it says coming soon on the Steam store, and
Oh,
it
yeah. I
says
thought it
coming
came
out 2023 on Wikipedia. But
Okay. Well, that might be. I thought it had come out. I need to play that. I haven't
It's a
I have
great
it.
game that is really marred by the fact that it's a roguelike. If that was a straight single-player linear game, oh my god. Oh my god.
Gotcha.
I get that they use that like partially for part of the story too.
Yes, they do, and it's done well.
So-
It really is.
But
It's
did
it's
they
kind of like
fix-
it's kind of like Hades. I have to give them some credit. They're at least trying to work it into the narrative. Whether or not they succeed, I think is mileage may vary, but like I don't know.
like how it
That
was-
was part of my favorite things. Like in Hades, was dying and seeing how the world was still continuing on.
He says, I still haven't gotten out of the first area. The boss is rough, but I'm really enjoying it, at least for now. The permanent upgrades seem very few and far between, but I'm sure there's a bunch I don't know about the game yet. It was great hearing everyone's Game of the Year last year. Thanks for the show.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And thank you.
My other biggest issue with Returnal was that it was not a $70 game.
Oh, I did not actually know that. I knew it
That's the
because
problem
it's a
with all
bullet hell
games.
too, ain't it?
What's that?
It's a bullet hell too, isn't it? I think
Yes.
that's why I didn't get it, because it was a roguelike and a bullet hell, and I'm not good at those bullet hells. I just like, there's too many things.
What was it that I was? So you didn't play Vampire Survivors then, Terrence?
I did. So that is different. I don't know. Like,
Because you're the one that's causing the bullets.
Well, yeah, maybe that's what it is. Because like I had to turn off the numbers because it was way too overwhelming when you had like the damage you were doing on there too with everything. But no, I actually like Vampire Survivors a lot. I don't know. I'll probably try Returnal because I think it's in the
It's in PP, I
PlayStation
think.
PP. Yeah. So I'll when I get my PlayStation back, I'll give it a try.
All right. I think that's all the Game of the Year emails, but I got a couple other emails. This first one comes from Blue Skies. It says, hello, I just wanted to say how tired I am of correcting people about PlayStation Plus, quote, free games versus Game Pass. PlayStation Plus, quote, free games are only playable as long as you pay the $17.99 a month or the $80 a year. You cannot play these games if your subscription ends. You don't own them. These free games are only free in the sense that Game Pass games are free. In that case, you get 450 free games when you subscribe to Game Pass for $9.99 a month. You still need to be subscribed to Game Pass to play those games too. Well, obviously. So no one is getting any free games like we did with the Xbox 360 games that used to be given away for free on Game Pass. Actually, that was Xbox Live Gold. Both are subscription services, and no game is playable without the subscriptions. Yes, some games come off of Game Pass, and the free PlayStation Plus games stay in your library, but again, still need to be subscribed in order to play. They do need to ditch games with gold, as it's only looks like PlayStation players are getting free games and Xbox getting 2 shitty games. Right now, you get 453 free games on Game Pass, including the same free games on PlayStation Plus this month: Fallout 76 and Jedi Fallen Order. So there.
I ain't gonna lie,
What?
that was a journey, but I followed what I picked up what he put down. But
I mean,
but that was a
was anybody implying they were free?
Yes, there are people that have that argument that think
We
that
say
PlayStation
that
games are.
we say that sometimes when like we're talking
But-
about
but-
like
but
what's
the-
free because it's on Game Pass.
But in the okay, but yes, I understand that. But in the context of it, is that some of the PlayStation stuff, if you're just paying for online, this stuff is included inside your purchase for online services.
The 3 games for PlayStation Plus
Right.
standard.
Plus
Yeah.
anything outside of that with the fucking extra shit, all the other tiers of PlayStation, right? But at that point, you're increasing the cost to get access to those games. So the point when people say it's free, like if you say it's free with Game Pass, I mean, yes, but you understand the point. Like Game Pass, you might be paying for Game Pass for some other reason, and now this is the extra that you get out of it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this is fighting over terminology that I think we all know
Well,
what we're
maybe
saying. But like, my thing is like, if you are buying Xbox Gold, not Game Pass, anything they give you is an extra, because I just can't see someone signing up for just Xbox Live Gold just to get these 2 free games. You see what I'm saying? Or 2 games, I should say.
Yeah,
So
nobody's paying
the
for
cost
those
is,
games.
I want you to play online. Here's 2 free games they're handing you for paying for just their online service. If you're paying for Game Pass, you're at least understanding of why you're exchanging money. There's the bonus is almost the online service if you're paying for Game Pass. I don't know. To me, it's just like what's the word I'm looking for? God damn it, semantics.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but I maybe I was looking at what he was saying differently because I thought he was talking about when people say the PlayStation service gives you these 2 free games, like the Xbox Games for Gold, that similar program every month. But those are not technically free because if I was to cancel my service or it ended that month, I lose access to those games that they gave me. But the games
Yes,
for gold, you don't lose access to. If you cancel your gold, you still
Only-
keep. I thought that's what he was saying.
Okay, so
only
yes,
only
but my
360 games, which they don't do anymore.
but my
Well, yeah,
But
right. But I thought
point
that's what he was saying.
is still like it is a free. If you're just playing for PlayStation Plus, that is a free addition to your service. Yes, you
Right.
can
No,
only
I
use
get what
them
you're
while
saying.
you're on,
Yeah,
but
right.
my point is that you're still only paying because they force you to pay to use their online services.
Sure, right. I get what you're saying. No,
Like,
I get what you're saying.
Yes, some people might sign up just to get the whatever many games each month, and at that point, I suppose the service is not free because you're essentially just paying to rent. But like it depends on what part of the value you are paying for, or like what part of the service you are paying for, and what is essentially just an added benefit to your paying.
Right.
Like, again, semantics of it all. It's like, I suppose, yes, correct. None of it's technically free. Money is being exchanged at some point or another. There is no such thing as a free lunch.
That is true. Alright, the last email that I got comes from Antonio. He says, I put down Yakuza Like a Dragon long enough to tinker around with the Steam Deck. I got PS1 games up and running on the day I got it, and yesterday I booted up some original Xbox games while watching some football. Today I'll probably work on getting PS2 and GameCube emulation going. I've only ever emulated the PS1 and PSP, so I'm kind of surprised how easy it was for me to set up Xbox, especially with YouTube guides. This thing really is a handheld dream. I'm hoping the Dead Space remake works well on the deck, because I definitely double-dipped down the line if so. Now back to Yakuza. I'm so dumbfounded by how much I love Like a Dragon and loved Zero and the characters in general. I'm dead set on making my way through 1 through 6 and the 2 Judgment games. I know it's a daunting task, but it's one I'm willing to take.
Godspeed.
Yeah, those are long-ass video games. They're good. They're all good. Man, they're long. And that run from 3 to 5
Is rough.
Is hard.
Because they are still the PlayStation 3, essentially.
Yeah, even the updated versions they put on PS4 and Xbox One, they're still hard to play.
I mean, they're all based off of the engine of 3, right?
Yes, I believe so. 6 was the first time that changed, because 6 is running in the Kiwami engine, if I remember correctly.
Well, I thought 6 was running...
Zero engine, sorry.
Yeah. I don't remember. They haven't changed engine that many times.
No.
For the amount of games they have.
Right?
So I mean, it's just... 5, when they've built way more upon the engine, is better than 3, but it still feels old in comparison to 0, which is a prequel, which uses a different engine, and then 6 used the Kiwami 2 engine, I think.
I thought Kiwami
Right?
1 and 2 were the same engine. Or maybe I'm crazy.
Oh, God.
Because I thought 0 was... Zero's when they changed the engine the first time. And then I thought Kiwami and Kiwami 2
Okay, hold on. Here it is. I'm looking it up. Okay, so the Dragon engine was used in the development of Yakuza 6, Kiwami 2, Judgment, Like a Dragon, and Lost Judgment.
Okay, so they changed it to Kiwami 2, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see here. Does it say what engine?
So 0 and Kiwami were probably a different engine.
Same one, I believe, yes. Man, fucking Yakuza. What a fucking turnaround.
No shit, right? Like that game was
fucking
considered
just-
a Shenmue ripoff, and then nah.
But it wasn't. That was
That's
not
what
how they
people
sold
called
it.
it.
They sold it as
But
Grand
that's-
Theft Auto, and
No, that's not how
Boy.
they sold it, but that's how people compared it back in the day.
yeah, and boy,
I did.
no.
I thought it was a Shenmue. I didn't play those games until till they came to Game Pass. I think no, it was the Sony one. The fourth one was the first one I played.
I could never
I think.
call it Grand Theft Auto because you don't drive a car.
No, yeah, you don't at all.
That's
Because I remember
that-
hearing those, and I was like, "Well, where's the car I can steal?" There's no. You
Yeah,
get a
there's no
taxi.
car. You just walk your
But-
ass around.
Yeah, you walk everywhere. They are
man.
good. I'm looking
They-
forward to the new one.
I was sold on it being like, this is like Grand Theft Auto but Japanese. Then you're getting into random battles. I'm like, this is terrible. Then I want to say it was Jay was like, it's an RPG, and I'm like, oh, that makes far more fucking sense than goddamn Grand Theft Auto. God damn, they sold that game poorly.
Yeah, they did, but it's got its resurrection, and now everybody loves them some Kiryu, so we're good. Dragon of Dojima got his resurrection, and we're okay with that.
So 3, 4, Dead Souls, and Kenzan, which I think is finally coming over this
Yeah,
year.
that's in
All operate on the
February,
same
I
engine.
think.
5-0 in Kiwami and Ishin, which is also coming over, all operate on an upgraded version of that engine.
Yeah, I'm
So they're
excited
ready
for
for
the
PS4.
for the Ishin one. That's the samurai one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
out
so
in
it's like a
February or March, I think.
There's like 2 games coming out this year in short
Yes.
time.
Yes, which
each
doesn't
other.
shock me because fucking Ryu
They're already
Gagatoku
done.
Studio is...
Wait, what's the other one? I only knew about the Ishin.
Give me a second. I
Isn't it
cannot
Like a Dragon
remember,
2?
man.
Isn't it Like a Dragon 2?
No, that's
Already?
later.
Oh, Jose, dang. Actually, it's been what, 2 years? 3
Yeah, it's
years
been
since
2
Like a
years.
Dragon? It's been
2
never mind. I'm
years.
tripping.
Give me a second here.
2 years is
Fucking
eternity to Ryu Gagatoku Studios. It's gonna
Actually,
be-
yeah, they seem to be cracking.
They're like Omega Force. They're like, we got a game out this week. What are you talking about?
Right.
Okay, so Ishin is coming out this year. That's one of the samurai games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fuck. God
That one
damn
is
it.
soon because I saw it on.
So here it is. Like a Dragon Ishin, a remake of the original spin-off. The remake was announced in 2022. It's supposed to come out February 21st, 2023.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's being developed on Unreal Engine 4, but okay.
Huh.
Then there's Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, which is Like a Dragon 7 Gaiden. There's a spin-off title set between the events of Yakuza 6 and Like a Dragon,
Okay.
and the upcoming sequel Like a Dragon 8, starring Kazuma Kiryu as the protagonist. Okay, so sorry, that's a brand new
Whoa,
one. That comes out.
Kiryu's going to be in Like a Dragon 2?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think they showed that in the trailer, though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
And yeah, the game is supposed to come out this year as well, and then Like a Dragon 8 is supposed to come out in 2024.
Why is
Man.
my dude getting no love from Like a Dragon? That dude was great.
Because he's still going to be the main hero, but they're going to reintroduce. Oh man, I don't know. Kiryu's coming back, I guess.
I mean,
it doesn't
Kiryu
make
is
sense.
the GOAT. I ain't gonna lie.
But we're getting at least 2 games in the series this year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of Ichiban. The people like that dude. Like, I think he will maybe be a team up kind of situation. With
I think so,
Kiryu.
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I am now interested in this series. I may not go back to play all of them. I played Zero. Was it Zero?
Let's get
Whatever
into
one that
it.
first came to Game Pass, I played that one.
Zero, I think, was the first one that came to
If it takes place in the 80s, it's Zero.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
the 80s. Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
do the
okay.
big ass cell phone? side
Miracle
mission?
Johnson.
Yep.
Oh,
That was-
that's good shit. All right, I got a few tweets here. Perfidy says my game of the year is Scorn. It was fresh and unlike anything I've played. Also, really enjoyed Ghost Song, Pentiment, Moonscars, and High on Life.
Nice.
It's a good variety.
Taker129 says, amazing job, fellas. I loved hearing everyone's top 10 games. The one thing that surprised me was the Sony games comment. Sony games are very mature. They are making games for adults. Oh, come on. No. No other platform holder is doing that. They are trying to push the medium forward. Man.
Yeah, so I knew this was going to come up because I remember what I said. My issue is not that they're mature games, right? Mature, not the sense of like just violence. Although most of them lean into that at some extent. My issue is that it feels all very Oscar baity. The equivalent of that, like you can, because like in my head, like Nier Automata does the same thing without feeling like it's trying to be that. You know, like there's a level of where it feels like you are now just trying to get kudos. And it's like, okay, you can make a very good game, that'll come naturally. You don't have to keep being like, no, this is pushing the medium forward. Is it? Or because it feels stagnant, sort of, at this point. Like, when that's all you produce. And it's not listen, at least they're producing fucking games. I know it's
No, 100% on that.
Right? And like you can argue that Nintendo has been not in that place as of late. They've been pushing a lot of more, you know, for younger kids or at least family friendly content.
I mean,
except for Bayonetta.
I understand the family friendly content. I understand the difference, you know, mentally. But my biggest issue is like making games for adults. Like, no, like adults can like any kind of game. Like adults love fucking Fortnite, you know. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's something about it that just feels like they're very. Again, I will not take away the gameplay in those games. I think they're brilliant with their. I mean, no one. Listen, Xbox made a fucking controller, and they're still not on the level of like disability awareness that Sony is. Like the studio is putting in all those options for accessibility. Like they can't be beat. You know, visually they're stunning on all that stuff, but it's just like there's something about it to me, and clearly Ken feels the same way, and maybe we can't find the best words for it, that they just feel like the same game. It all feels like it's this high prestige content to the point where nothing feels special anymore. Like, it was special when God of War came out, amongst other things, and now it's just like, well, that's all they do. All they do is these prestige sort of titles. So it's not special, I guess. Like, Spider-Man 2 is going to come out, and it's going to be the same prestige Spider-Man game, and that's good, but, like, it's not going to have the same effect on you more than once.
I mean, that can be said about anything, because if you go back and look at like that first Spider-Man game that came out around the movie time, like, that was special. And then they made 3 more, and, like, they were just as good.
Boy, really, number 2 was like, whoa, it's open world. Then number 3 came out, and you're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, like, I don't care.
And it's the same with Assassin's Creed. It's the same with everything. Like Mario has to change. Like, that's the good thing with like Nintendo is they put so much fucking time between their video games.
Yeah,
generally.
look at Zelda to Zelda. Like, those games are massively, like, I don't know, there's just something special about each one.
They try to do something different with each. But like you look at New Super Mario Brothers, boy, that wore out its fucking welcome to most people.
Yeah, they did too many of those too close together.
Too many of those too quick. Even Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I've heard is amazing, I didn't pick it up. I was like, I'm good. I played Galaxy. I have it now. I just haven't sat down with it. But like, you know, it's the appearance of things. Like, I just, you know, and I guess, you know, what are we saying with the Yakuza? Like, oh, those are all really good games.
They're all
but like, I wouldn't want to play them back to back. That'd be a
No.
fucking nightmare scenario.
I've got enough Yakuza games to last me like the rest of my life.
Yeah,
now.
and they're going to keep putting out more, and I'll buy them because I suck. It's not them. I know where I fall.
I know I'm the problem.
But yeah, I don't know. Just something about it. Like, it's just I've got it. Like, you make mature games for adults. Can we please have some levity? You make really good games. I would like a different tone other than this is the end of the world. I have character problems, and I will try to overcome those character problems or fail at them come by the end of this title.
Are the Sony games behind the beaded door at the back of the Blockbuster? Was that what we're
Like, I'm the first person to criticize, like, just mindless shit. Like, movies and stuff. I get on Ken for it all the time. But that being said, like, I get why they have to exist.
It's fine that they
I get
exist. I just wish they would make the other games too.
Like, even Ratchet and Clank has moved in this direction. And it's like, that's not why you go to Ratchet and Clank.
Sony could get me super stoked for announcing a next-gen Jumping Flash. That's who I am.
What's the, Astrobot? Just more Astrobot?
Dude, Astrobot is the shit. That game
Astrobot's
is so
your
good.
best character.
That's the best game on the PS5, I said it.
Fucking the music from the VR game is some of the most cheerful, happy music. It fucking puts Mario to fucking shame. I'm just like, I love these characters. This world is beautiful. It's just nice.
You
These
haven't played
characters
the
are
new one yet,
adorable
have
and
you?
kind and
You didn't
breath
play
of
the new
fresh
one.
air. No, I can't.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's so
I know.
good. And it
and
was
I would
free.
play. That would be the. Yeah, it's actually free too. Yeah, it's on console.
Fucking free, and that game is so good. That game was my first platinum trophy. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh my
I'm not a
God.
PlayStation ecosystem guy.
My first platinum trophy. Fuck, I don't know if I know which first platinum trophy. I know I did one for stories. That was early on.
Yeah, I never finished all the branches. I did like
Dude,
70% of them.
stories towards the end there, I was having to grind some shit out.
Yeah,
Get a
that's where
combo
I
of
fell
like
off.
30 plus without taking a hit.
Nah.
But I did it. The game was like falling apart because I'd been running it for so long.
Dude, that thing made my PlayStation like burn up.
Yeah.
I don't know what that game was doing, but it was burning my PlayStation
Particle
up.
effects. A lot of them. When you go into slow-mo and all the particle effects happen, I was like, yeah. Let's go into slow-mo. 5 frames per second.
Yeah, I was not a PlayStation ecosystem guy when I was, doing the completion games, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't done a completion game, and so, like, literally that Astrobot Platinum is the only 100% completion achievement / trophy shit I've done in 7 years, probably.
Final Fantasy 15 was one. There's a couple where I have all the trophies, but it's not a platinum. Yeah, at this point in my life, I have to really like a game. But, like, I am... So, here's the thing. I was a PlayStation guy. I didn't play Xbox. I only bought an Xbox 360 because it was cheaper than a PS3. So, for me to, like, kind of fall out of love with your console, or what you're outputting, like, it's not that I have an issue with God of War. I liked the first Horizon. I think the story is not the problem with that game. It's just like, it does feel all very samey to me because, like, I come from a time when Ratchet and Clank was different than Jak and Daxter, which, again, tonally they may have started at the same place. They moved different directions, which was different from Dark Cloud, which was technically a first-party license made by Level 5. Which was different than God of War at the time, which was just hyper-violence for almost no reason, because man is angry. And it's just like, all those games were different. And then, I don't know, as we've moved away from the Japanese-led Sony, it's become very much of these prestige titles. And, like, I don't know, I don't want to feel miserable all the time.
Yeah, I miss old-school Japanese Sony. It was my favorite.
I just wish there was a balance. Because I liked God of War. God of War was the original was, on PS2 was an American game. Twisted Metal was an American game. I'm not trying to just name Jaffe's stuff, but it's like these were key titles. But they understood the fact early on that they needed a mascot. What is the mascot of Sony other than just adult entertainment video games?
Well, they had
Like-
one, and then they sold it. to
What was that?
Universal. It was Crash, man.
No, they didn't
yeah.
own Crash.
No.
Crash was always owned by Universal.
I understand.
And so was Spyro.
I know that. I was joking. What I'm saying is that they had one. They could have bought that. They totally
Yeah,
could
they
have bought
decided
that.
not to.
Which was a
And
mistake
then
because
Vivendi-
Crash is PlayStation. It was.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I find that with a lot of their stuff is like these characters. Like, was this the move all along? They wanted to be the Oscars sort of material. Like, it just, again, Oscar bait is the best way I can describe it. It feels like it just hits all the points to be taken as high art. But it's like, sorry, Shadow of the Colossus is high art. It moves the medium forward. I don't see God of War moving the medium forward. It's just telling a mature story in a video game. A very good video game, but a video game. Like, it's not doing, like, I don't know. It just, I'm torn because I don't dislike these video games. I just don't have I just have to be in such a mindset to want to sit down and just kind of lay in misery with these characters. Same with even Horizon. Horizon was like this weird, like, I'm tired of feeling miserable. Let me just kill dinosaurs for fun, please and thank you. They're good games, though. Again, I don't
Turok.
criticize people for liking them. I understand this is a personal gripe.
Turok, don't you dare invoke his name.
I am Turok.
Fucking Turok.
The
I
weird
love
tribal
Turok on
drums
it.
as I'm moving through killing low polygon dinosaurs.
I love
Yeah.
Turok on the fucking N64. After that,
Those-
Yeah, they messed up the remakes. Like
The only game that I'd say from a fire outside the N64 is Evolution. It's not very good, but it does have the cerebral bore still. So.
dude, but Tobias Bruckner?
That's the Disney one, the Disney Turok.
No, Tobias Bruckner was the final boss of Evolution. He rode
Oh,
the giant
that's right.
T-Rex.
Sorry,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah. What was the name of the main character in the remake?
Oh god, the Mohawk dude.
Because he has some stupid ass name too.
It's probably some like Joseph Feather or something. Or something.
Oh my
something
god!
stupid.
You know why? Because his name is actually Turok. That's what it was. Joseph Turok.
Joshua Fireseed was Turok 2.
And oh fuck, I can't remember Turok's dinosaur.
Talset.
Talset, yeah.
So yeah, the
But
guy.
they had names that actually weren't fucking related to the fact that they're like Turok was a title that they took. Like, oh, fuck, just.
yeah. It was like Link, right? Like, well, I guess they was like reincarnated, but it was like, yeah.
Well, they actually met. Joshua Fireseed and Talset actually meet. It's not like yeah, it's a title, but yeah, like Disney Interactive fucking published the last one.
Oh, that last
Ew.
one was bad.
Yeah, I had it on. I think 360.
Yeah, 360 PS3 game. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was not good.
I played it recently, and I was like, "Wow, this is bad." Kids, don't go back to your 360 games thinking they're all as good as you remember, because most of them are not.
Yeah, that's why I'm scared to even go back and play some of them because I'm like, man, I know I'm gonna go back and it's just gonna be ruined.
Oh,
It's not
absolutely!
gonna-
I've ruined so many games. I ruined Splatterhouse. I ruined Wet. I ruined Turok. I refuse to go back to Alone in the Dark like Drew did because I still love that game, and I know it's
That
bad.
game, you're talking about the terrible, just Alone in the Dark 360
the
game.
360 one. The one
That
that got,
game mechanically, though,
it's so
there's some stuff that
interesting.
nobody else has done since.
That game is so interesting mechanically.
You actually pour gasoline and it follows the line that you've poured.
Yeah, or the
That's
cutting off the
fucking insane.
security guard's hand with the sword to get through the security checkpoint. Like,
I mean, that they did shit like that in Shadow Man, where you take the key card by just tearing off the arm.
oh, but that stuff is just. But then I still have PTSD from the killing all the stuff in the open world with the Molotovs. The overgrown shit? Because you had to. That
Yeah,
was an
I know what
achievement.
you're talking about.
That was an achievement, is to kill all of them, and you literally only had enough Molotovs to kill every single one of them if you did it perfectly.
But don't miss.
Don't miss, and it was so bad. It was so bad. The fact that you opened your coat to craft shit.
What?
Yes, that was how you crafted. You would
It's
look
your
down,
first person
open your-
and third person. That fucking game was insane. Made by guys who usually made a fucking fucking racing games. Like, how the fuck did you fall into this job?
I think I didn't play that one because the last Alone in the Dark I played was like on. Was there one on Dreamcast?
Yeah, it was
Was
a
there one
New
on Dreamcast?
Nightmare was ported to the Dreamcast.
Okay, I think that was the last one I played, and I was like, this is not really a good stick to Resident Evil, so I didn't play the the Xbox one.
The guy that plays Carnby is the same actor who does Max Payne, and it's like his worst performance.
Fucking
I'm the fucking light bearer!
fucking stones.
Him yelling at the end. I've
Man.
watched
That's why I
that game. I've
refuse to
never
go
played
back.
it.
I refuse to go back and play it now because I know it will ruin my memories of that game. All right, last tweet is also Taker says, I was also happy someone mentioned the Stanley Parable. That game
Yay,
is
that was me.
was a surprise gem that I played this year. Also, no one mentioned Total War Warhammer 3. That game is amazing and possibly the best in the trilogy.
I am not a Total War guy.
Yeah, I don't
I
play
did-
those games.
Play that one. I didn't.
I respect the Total War franchise. That is too much for me. I'm too dumb. I'm just too dumb, guys. Like, that's the reason why I do turn-based stuff. I can't fucking do real time.
I played
That
them
might
back
be
in the
turn-based.
day.
I don't even know, but it just looks like real time, and I'm like, man, I've done
It's-
real-time strategies. I'm bad.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
something I am secretly
it's real
excited. Secretly excited to play at the end of this month is Age of Empires 2 on an Xbox.
I am going to check that out.
I
am
played-
a fan of Age of Empires.
I played hundreds of hours of AoE 1 and 2.
And it controls, like, Destiny's menus.
You know what?
It probably does.
Halo
Yeah,
Wars plays fine on a console.
it does. Yeah. Actually, it probably does because Age of Empires 4 has Destiny's like reticle menu on PC. I mean, it's on PC obviously, but it's already like built in. So yeah, it'll be this one will play like that. on
I
console.
played so much AoE 1 and 2 back in the day. I have not
Good
played.
stuff.
Man, if you truly want to know why I want Microsoft to buy Activision, is to get a port of StarCraft on my Xbox.
I would love that.
Just give me the
Oh my
remastered StarCraft 1. That's all I want. I play it on my PC still, and it's still the best RTS ever made. I will not be taking comments or questions.
You won't receive any from me, sir.
That
I
is-
agree. Even though I've been playing the second one because I didn't finish the last one.
The second one
It's not
ruined
as
that
good.
series.
I know it's
Ugh.
not. I'm on the Protoss story. Like I finished the first two, but I'm on the Legacy of the Void.
I
bit
still-
now.
Which version
Which
of StarCraft has split screen battles?
in 64.
Correct.
I played that recently. It's not good.
No.
I remember seeing screenshots of it.
The music
but I
is
never-
good.
yeah.
Like the music is not bad for being on a cart, and it even has the cutscenes, which is weird. But
Oh wow!
it's not good. It's not good. Just gonna throw that out there.
Happens.
But I still remember, like, it's ingrained in my brain, the opening to StarCraft where the hillbillies run over the Zerg.
Yep.
Oh, man, that game.
If you ask me to name a single element of StarCraft, I could name two things: Zerg and Ghost, and that's it.
Dude, I played so much StarCraft that my muscle memory still remembers the hotkeys to build items in the game.
I've never been interested
Wonder-
in those types of games, man. I wish the closest I came was like Command and Conquer.
Those are good too.
Yeah,
we
They
CNC
were.
was
I
good.
wasn't like in love with
so
it.
much
but-
StarCraft back in the day. Me and my friend. Oh my god, my mom used to yell at us all the time because I was always on the modem because that was back in the day when it took up the phone line when you was playing online. My mama yelled at me all the time because I was playing StarCraft.
I'm yelling down there, don't you dare pick up the phone.
Right, like just give me a minute.
Don't you dare pick up the phone because you're going to cut me off. StarCraft.
Good times.
Man, that game. You did the expansion, Brood War, getting my Dark Archon, and basically having 3 armies. Oh, let's go.
I was hyped for the Dark Archons are cool, but I just wanted the Dark Templar. Zeratal was my guy. Like that was who I picked. Like I was really good with him in Heroes of the Storm. God, I love StarCraft. Man, see, I just want more StarCraft stuff. Like, man, Warcraft has an MMO. Diablo has a bunch of games. They literally is like, well, StarCraft, here's 2 games. Here's all you get. Like, what the heck?
But they'll wait for them to figure out how to monetize it.
They tried with esports, and the second game killed the esports scene for StarCraft. So.
Yeah.
$70 for some skins for your army that you can't see because they're tiny anyways.
I'll make you suffer internally, Terrence. There are now as many Overwatch games as there are StarCraft games.
See? I didn't even think about that.
I mean, yeah, and the second one of the Overwatch is gonna kill the franchise just like the second.
It feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like what are you doing?
Oh my
Blizzard?
fucking god, dude! There's 30 more. There's 30 more. There's like 25 or whatever more days of this fucking season.
Well, hopefully that Roadhog patch is this week. That'd be my hope and dream.
Fucking.
That would be nice.
They'll just every time they try to fix something, they break something else.
Yeah, but if they just told us what because they didn't even say, it was like, well, we're gonna fix Roadhog, but we have no earthly idea if it's gonna be, you're gonna nerf his health.
They're definitely taking away
defense.
They're definitely taking away his one shot. I know that for sure.
That should be taken away. Lord.
Yeah, that's annoying when you can pump 1,500 damage into that motherfucker and then he just one shot you. That's not fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. God. Yeah.
But anyway,
that's depressing.
That's everything I've got for this week. If you want to send us tweets, it's at N4G Podcast on the Twitter. If you want to send us an email, it's podcast@ztgd.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I don't know why you'd want to, but I'm at ZTGD. Terrence is at Lord Magnus. Anthony's not on Twitter. You can also follow the site at ZTGD Content, so go check that out. We got a bunch of reviews coming up. It's 2023, y'all. The year.
And despite what I said, and maybe what Ken backs me on, maybe you just let me ramble and went and take a pee about PlayStation stuff. If you enjoy your games, enjoy your games. That was not me criticizing you as a player. I'm glad they exist. I wish there was something for me in there is all. That's all I'm saying. I miss my old game series that they still have the rights to and don't do anything with.
I think it makes me cry the most because I'm right there with you and they won't even throw me a bone with the PP.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all right
use that
there.
terminology. But yeah, like I'm still glad those games exist. And I'm glad that people enjoy them. I realize I'm an outlier on that. And I still enjoy them. I just don't enjoy them as much as others. But I'm glad they exist because someone has to do it because no one else is, I suppose. Like, I fucking wish Microsoft could compete in any sort of market right now. But
that'd be cool if Xbox had some games. That'd be cool.
Any games. They're not something that, they could compete with Nintendo with, but no, also they can't compete with PlayStation.
Motherfucker, they can't even give me a ROM.
The Atari VCS has more games coming out for it than Xbox at this point.
I'm gonna blow your mind. Stadia put a game out this week. What are you doing, Xbox?
I saw that.
What are you doing? Stadia dead. They put a game out this week. What are you doing, Microsoft?
That's a shame. God.
Anyway, that's it for the show this week. So nobody has anything else. We'll get out of here. Peace, bitch.
Alrighty, and it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G Podcast. Oh, you can...
It's me, Mario.
$0.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
Always with being angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0.
Killed the dragon.